Happy Thursday, everybody. Mortgage Mark here. I'm going to try to act like this is my first time to record it, but it's like my third. I've been having some audio issues, but here we go. This is the fresh new take, never done before. We got a lot to talk about today, guys. So I'm going to try to make this one as quick as I can, just because it's a lot of info. So long story short, Freddie Mac, May 12th, Thursday, May 12th, came out 5.3 with 0.9 fees, right? Points. So if somebody says, hey, what are rates? I'd probably say generically, say mid fives, mid to high fives, depending on just if they don't want any points or not. So there you go. So here's the mortgage-backed securities graph, right? So we started way up here in January, and we've just had this constant downstream of bad days. So the down is bad, guys. Down means higher rates. So green is good, red is bad. Well, I wanted to just point this out about last week and kind of where we're heading. And I do think this is going to keep going this way to where this, mid fives or whatever it is from a rate standpoint is going to keep going. And I think we're going to see sixes, and heaven forbid, we might even see some sevens here by the end of the year. So here's why. So the Fed right here came out and they said last week on Wednesday, they're like, hey, we're raising rates 50 basis points. That was expected. That half point was what the market had. Everybody's great. But the reason why you saw this little run up in your stock market, your portfolio, your 401ks may have had a good day as well, because they said, hey, this 75 basis points, meaning 3/4 of a point, we're not going to do that. We're taking that off the table. Well, I don't know why they said that. It wasn't necessary for them to say that, but by doing so, what happens is reality sets in and rates come back down the next 2 days after and give away all those gains, because they realize if the Fed's not going to raise rates that much and inflation's hot, that's a problem. Inflation's the reason why this is killing it. Think about it. If I'm going to lend out money for 30 years at 5.x and I got inflation currently running over 8%, I'm losing money making that deal. So your rates are going to increase to offset the inflation cost that's currently being seen. And secondly, the Fed, it goes back to the runoff of their balance sheet. I'm not going to get into that for the moment. We're going to stick on inflation. So here's why the Fed drives me nuts. This is Loretta. She's a member of the Fed, and we'll look at the members here in a second. But these are her quotes from a year ago all the way through August of last year. But I'm not concerned with inflation running away. I'm not worried about inflation. The Fed's expectations are real and everything's great. By the end of the year, I expect inflation to be 3.5% to 4% with a drop in 2022. It just hurts my head. So guys, here's why it hurts my head. It's not that hard to figure this out. That was literally right at the end of the year. Inflation was somewhere in the mid fives, and currently it's above 8. So again, they expected a drop in 2022. It's like, are you kidding me? Here's every member of the Fed right now. This is kind of scary. These men and women are basically controlling, rates to some degree in the balance sheet of the United States, and half of them haven't even had a real job. The only job they've ever had is at the Fed, right? They don't have any real world experience. About 40% of them don't have any real world experience, and all they've done is teach academia, professors, whatever it is, research, all that stuff, but they haven't run a lemonade stand. They don't know how business works. The only two that have had real job experience, they were consultants, meaning, hey, I come into a company, I do a project, I tell them what they should do, and I leave. I don't have to live with the consequences of what happens. Here's why it's just amazing why they didn't. You got to know inflation is going to keep going up. Let's take it for a couple of reasons. Just supply chain issues. This graph blew me away. These are all boats. And I'm not talking canoes. I'm talking like those massive cargo tankers that have all our stuff that ends up coming from Amazon or Target or Walmart or whatever, and everything in between. So these boats are in Shanghai, just sitting out, waiting their turn to come in and unload whatever they have and reload to come back. So the greens are the ones, that are leaving, and the reds are the ones waiting. Thousands of boats are just sitting there. So China shut down because of COVID. Their vaccines aren't as effective as ours. So they're sitting there with a shutdown. The boats have nowhere to go with nothing to take. That supply chain is going to continue to be an issue. Right now, our unemployment's the lowest. It stayed steady at 3.6%. It's hard for employers, as to find jobs. So here's what inflation, the numbers, the 8.2, 8.3, whatever the numbers are going to come out at. When they do this, they're taking a 12-month look back. So when you say, hey, I'm going to roll off, and this is what just happened, I'm taking away last April 0.6, and I'm loading it with current April's 1 point whatever, 1.1, 1.2. Of course, inflation is going to go up, right? You're replacing a very low number with a very high number. What you may see here over the next 2 months is headlines saying, oh, inflation's getting under control because of the Fed. It's not. Here's what's happening. In June, which will come out in July rather, July's report, you may say, oh, we're finally starting to peak. It's only because you're offloading a 0.9 and you may be unloading maybe a 0.9. Maybe it's a 1.1 or something, but point is, it's not that big of an effect or impact on this. So you may see headlines saying, oh my gosh, we're cool. And maybe rates will come down just a pinch at that moment. But guess what? July, August, and September, you're going to offload some really low numbers. And that's why our inflation is going to keep going up and up and up. It's not until October that we think inflation truly may start peaking, because after that, you're going to load off some low numbers here. And then by that point, the Fed's rate hikes will hopefully kick in and slow things down a bit. So we do think inflation is going up. So basically, because this October number is going to be November's report. So basically through the end of the year, inflation is going to keep going up, which means the Fed's going to keep fighting. They're going to raise rates to fight inflation, which then squashes demand, which makes hopefully inflation come under check. But all that's to say, until that time comes, if inflation's running, rates are going to go up. Because if I'm lending mortgages at 30 years at 5.x and inflation's 8.x, I'm losing money if I'm giving that money out at 5% and I'm paying 8% inflation. So rates are going to keep going up. We do have a 12-month lock. So if somebody's out there looking to buy or wants to do something, lock in your rate. It's a free float down. There's like zero downside to this. You can float down to current market when you're ready. And if it's lower, take it. So call us if you need us for that. And then guys, every month we're doing some awesome webinars, or pardon me, seminars. And I know this because the audience tells us so. And so next week, Wednesday at our office, if you guys scan this, and we'll put the link in the email, come to our office, 10:30 to 11:30. It's going to be on Canva. Even if you know how to use Canva, come in, because Riley's going to teach you. It's not me, I promise. That's why I know it's going to be great. But she'll teach you how to make within minutes something really cool for social media posts or for marketing. So bring your admin, bring whoever you want. This could be a really good class for everybody to join. So use this QR code. It's open invite. So if you got friends, I don't care if they're, what industry they're in. If somebody's interested in learning about this, bring them in. We'd love to see you. And if you need us in the interim, just give us a shout. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and hope you guys have a great day.